Okay.
Beautiful.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Talk Shop Season 5, Episode 12. We had a good chunk of this episode. It's going to be audio only. So if you want that,
a good chunk, aka 3 minutes.
Yes,
or
3 minutes.
4 minutes.
If you want that 3 minutes of
Four
premium
spicy,
bonus
hot minutes.
content, you got to
check out our Patreon. And
Yeah.
If I had a Patreon, I'd plug it right now. But
for the $45 a month tier, you can get those. You can unlock those 4 minutes of content that you missed
for free if you just go over to talkshop.podbean.com. I think that's.
You ever notice how much people who have Patreons abuse the word free? Well, they'll say like, free for my patrons or something like that.
Yeah,
as if it's
right.
as if it's not people. It's
still
bad.
charging for.
Everyone says that's what you're getting paid for. You know, it's not like, I don't know. It's not like you buy something on Amazon and like there's another free thing in the box. You know, I can't think of an exact like you. Sometimes when you buy older stuff, like I've bought like old like PS2 games and stuff on Amazon, and there's like I get like a bonus one in the box. It's like that's free. I didn't buy that. Right?
Yeah.
That wasn't priced in. But if you're just like some entertainment dude and I'm paying you $20 a month and you make some video and you're like, hey, new whatever pictures of my butthole free for my patrons.
Ooh.
It's like, no, that's what I paid you for, bud.
That's very telling.
You're listening to
butthole pictures are you paying for? Exactly.
You're listening to a very different series of podcasts.
Well, you guys aren't Ben Shapiro patrons?
We got it twice in one episode.
My asshole. We all love Ben Shapiro here. Ben, if you're listening, please come on the show.
I just want to get on the Daily Wire so that I can have one of those like really nice pictures, like where I'm like waving my hands up, like I don't know, and it's like the Sam show.
Oh, like the headshots.
Yeah.
Actually, that reminds me. This is kind of a funny little anecdote. Preface. Hey, guess what, everybody? Since the last episode, we got a new president. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we really need to say.
And he is the president, whether you like it.
He is this. Wait,
Jeb Bush.
I'd be a bad weatherman. There we go.
Jeb Bush is our new president. But I subscribed to Daily Wire. They had like a promo running just for election coverage. So I would watch the Ben Shapiro show live stream, or not live. Yeah, actually live streams for like 3 days. And then I just stopped. So, but the funny thing is they have a live chat just like you would on YouTube or Twitch or anything.
Oh God.
And the people that message in that chat are somehow more crazy than the people that work at the Daily Wire are.
I believe it, man.
Where it's just like, it's sometimes when somebody messages in that side panel, it's basically reads as a Trump tweet would, where it's like, the Democrats, all caps, are trying to steal the election.
I mean, you have to put yourself in the mindset of someone who is not only watching, a live opinion show, which is fine, whatever.
Yeah.
But someone who would feel the need or the compulsion, like they literally would be unable to stop themselves from commenting on it in real time.
Yeah, and like
knowing that the person is never gonna see it or read it or know that they exist, or like I don't get it at all.
Yeah, and like
there's no interaction there. I don't know what purpose it serves.
There will be moments where Ben will say something completely reasonable. It'll be like, that tweet that Trump sent out, like, I won the election before the votes were even tallied and all that. Yeah, that was irresponsible. He should have done that. And then you read like the sidebar things and they're like, Ben, how could you say something like that?
Yeah. You know what? So before the election, I decided that I was going to try to even out my worldview. So I was like, okay, you've been listening to a lot of the left. You're really indoctrinated on the left, right? So I need you to listen to something on the right. And Ben Shapiro, I've always thought he's funny on the YouTube compilations. I think that's how everybody heard of him. That's how he got famous.
When he owns the liberal snowflakes.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to give his podcast a shot. Why not? And I actually for the most part, I enjoyed it. His problem is that he puts out a show every day and that he runs out of things to talk about, so it's extremely repetitive.
That's the same for about
Yeah.
every conservative
You
talk radio.
you can't put
host.
anything. You can't put any content out every day and keep it at all interesting. The other problem with him is that I cracked his code. And it's that he has this thing where he tries to be like, oh, he's the one who tells it to you straight. He's the only guy you'll get the truth from, right?
Yeah.
But he is absolutely still completely biased towards the conservative side, which is fine.
I don't think anybody's arguing that.
So what he does is, this is how he tries to keep that impartial and like I'm the safe one to listen to, is when Trump does something or a Trump supporter does something absolutely ridiculous, he'll mention it in a footnote. He'll kind of mumble it.
Yeah.
And then he'll spend the next 20 minutes talking about how ridiculous the left is.
Yeah.
It related to the same issue. My favorite version of this is he was talking about how when the big Biden bus was going through a city and a bunch of Trump trucks surrounded it. And like, I don't know if you saw this, but like Trump, like
I did see that.
a big old Trump truck. You've seen it with the giant flags. Everybody in
Yeah.
America has seen one
The
of these.
fucking convoys.
Yeah.
One in front, two on the side, and then one behind it. And they surrounded
Like
this
they just
bus.
boxed it in or what?
Yeah, they boxed it in.
Okay.
And so Shapiro's take on that was, I'm sorry, it just cracked me up so bad. He's like, okay, so here we are, and I'm not going to try to do the voice. He was like, okay, so these fine trucks are surrounding this bus, and he's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, it's a little bit irresponsible. Hey guys, if you're listening, don't do that. To boxing in a giant moving bus on a highway. That was his point on that.
Oh, this is what was driving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like parked somewhere.
No, it was driving down the highway.
It's just like a bus going down the
Yeah.
road.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, in his quiet little voice, like, okay, look, guys, it's not good. Don't do that, okay? But watch this when a van that's clearly a Biden supporter tries to come in and swerve to get them off of it. This is what's destroying the country.
You know,
The
he's got a
left
point.
just can't stand it. And I'm like,
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah. Like
all
you're saying,
parties-
like this guy's putting on a show literally every single day.
Yeah.
He doesn't take a day off. Actually, no, he might take Saturday.
He's Jewish.
Is that,
There's
yeah,
like
is that the
he takes
Sabbath?
Saturday. He takes
mandatory
Saturday and
days
Sunday
off.
off. He doesn't do the
Well, they do the Sunday special. I guess they record that probably previously.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
it's on-
not on Sunday.
Well, isn't there? I guess I should know, but I don't. What is the Jewish Sat? Is it
I think
Saturday?
it's Saturday.
Yeah, it's Saturday. It's Saturday.
Yeah. So even if is the Sunday show live?
No, it's
No.
not. It's
Is it not?
pre-recorded. They have
Pre-recorded.
special guests on.
Sure.
I've listened
think-
to a lot of Ben Shapiro in the last couple months.
I will say, as far as conservative mouthpieces go, Ben Shapiro's the most you can handle that, like that level of, because you listen to like Hannity or Limbaugh or something, and you're like,
Have
"You are
either of you ever
insane."
tried to listen to? Speaking of Daily Wire, have either of you ever tried to listen to Andrew Clavin?
No,
No.
not,
That
I see
guy-
I see his video
Dude.
titles, and I'm like, okay,
Dude,
shut
put
the
a
fuck up.
put a bullet in my fucking head. That guy. Oh my god, I would rather die than listen to like a full hour of that
Really,
dude's
any of those
show.
guys except
It's
for Ben
so
are
bad.
like, you just
He just doesn't quit. It's like I don't even like there's just the doubling down never ends. It's just doubling down all the way down. Like there isn't a single thing that could possibly conceivably happen where you're like, yeah, maybe that wasn't good. Like not even like a thing. One
Yep.
is like never ever happens. And they do like, you know, with Ben Shapiro and some of the other people, they do these like regular events where like the main personalities will all get together and do like a 2-3 hour whatever every quarter or something. And if you ever try to watch one of those, like anytime that guy opens his mouth, I just want to be dead. It's so that guy's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get a show like that.
I will say I have very much appreciated Ben's take on post-election stuff. I'm very glad that he's actively working not to stoke this fire of there's been voter fraud to the extent to flip the election, or Trump definitely won the election and y'all need to fight it. Instead, he's been I appreciate what he's saying in that there are probably some holes in the system. We need to find those and patch them up, but it's not going to be enough to change the result.
It never is. I mean, even if you look back to like the 2000 election, they did like recount after recount, and it like swayed the vote maybe a couple hundred votes at a time. Nothing.
I think the biggest flip was like 326 votes of
Yeah,
like
that's
any
like
presidential
nothing.
recount.
Yeah, you could expect
Even in
the most.
close, even in the margins we were having in like Pennsylvania and all those like really close states.
It's still like
this time around,
30,000. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still like at the very least like 1,600 votes, and that I mean
Yeah.
that's razor thin already. But
Yeah.
recounts are not gonna. He's not the president anymore. There's nothing else I can say.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and like it would be one thing if it was like every state was either or, like say like one state was going to decide the whole thing and like it was on like a 2,000 vote margin. Like that's pretty thin, right? I wouldn't blame anyone at that point. Like say it was just down to Pennsylvania or something. Then if people want to make a big deal out of it or act like it's not done or who knows what's gonna, like, that's fine, I don't care. But it's like 5 states or something that like all needed to go and just barely, like all of them barely flipped, but they all did, and there's no way all of them are flipping. Like it's just not, it's not possible.
He'd basically need to flip Pennsylvania and some other high vote
he
state.
would need for sure at least 3 out of Nevada, New Mexico, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia. He would need like at least three out of any of those, but depending on which ones, maybe 4.
There's no way.
It's just
There's
impossible.
Like,
it's not
there's
possible.
No way. Like no matter how you slice it, like this is very telling. So my parents, very conservative folk. They have not been a fan of Trump as a person, but of policy. You might hear this very frequently.
I hear this a lot.
Yeah, like I don't like him as a person, but I do like his policies. That's okay, fair enough. Whatever. You know, it aligns with what you want, right? So that's fine. They were both telling me that they would wish he would concede. And just because it's just better for the nation if he just rips off the Band-Aid and says, hey, listen, everybody, I'm not the president anymore.
Sure.
But he won't do it. And he will never do it. He's going down to the last second. It'll be like presidents are sworn in January
20th.
20th.
Is that right?
Yeah. I think 20th.
I was thinking the
right.
22nd, but that might be the 20th.
I think it is the 20th. He's going to be.
I was very
19th,
sure when I said it, but
same-
now I feel like I made it up.
I think the 20th is right. At any,
There's a 2 in the number.
yeah, it's either the 2nd or the 20th or
It
the
is the 20th.
222nd.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So he's going to go down to the 19th swearing that the election was stolen. I actually can't even, I don't even know what to expect when the 20th comes. Is he just going to like spit on Joe Biden when he's like shaking his hand?
It's gonna be like they'll have to evict him. Like the sheriff will just roll up.
It'll be like an episode of Cops.
Yeah.
They'll show up, he's like in a wife beater and they just chase him out of the White House and like tackle him into a ditch. And they're like, you got to get out of here, sir.
Like greasy old wife. A wife beater covered in like chicken wing grease.
Yeah, McDonald's
stains.
ketchup.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I'm still the president.
There's half a McFish.
This is a
McFillet.
misunderstanding. You gotta believe me.
Listen, I have evidence. That's what's gonna happen.
There is so much that we could unpack politically. I know that's not what this is, but it's been a wild ride.
It has. Well,
It's been a wild ride.
Just thinking from our previous episode, this was not even a factor. We didn't even talk about like election type stuff.
I
at
mean,
all. Like so much has happened since the last episode.
well, and also like COVID time kind of isn't. It's like an illusion.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
sometimes the time is like stretched super razor thin, and sometimes like entire blocks of time just like
Yeah.
3 months will just fly by, and sometimes it's
Yeah.
like a week feels like it takes 10. Like,
So, yeah, to kind of go along with that, the election itself felt like it took forever, right?
That's because it did.
yeah,
Because like everybody's looking at the Politico or like WAPO or New York Times map to see what the
Yep.
election results are.
Yep.
You're just
Mhm.
seeing that for like 5 days. Now that it's over, it feels like it was instantaneous.
well, and
I
the
just-
lead up to it, to me, it felt like I was just living my life normally. And this is as someone I follow politics fairly close, certainly more closely than the average person, right?
Yeah.
I'm not like a pundit or whatever, but fairly closely following politics. and I was just living my life normally, and it was like, oh shit, the election's in 3 weeks. Like it was just that, like it just happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like
yeah.
I don't know. It there wasn't like this crazy lead up or like this like hype building, or like it didn't feel like it was coming on the horizon. It was just
the
kind of here.
political calls. That's the sign that election is coming, is when you get it, like they ramp up, the number of calls ramps up, where it'll be like 1 to 2 early in the year, you get later in the year, and then you start getting 5 or 6 a day, and you're like,
Yeah.
something's going on here.
Dude, the text message, we have to talk about the text messages.
Yeah, I think we do.
There
Can
were
we
a lot
talk-
of them.
Can we talk about the fact that federally it is illegal to text people like that without, just out of the blue, without them opting in or signing up for anything? But there's a special exemption for nonprofit political action organizations. Like they have special permission to do it. If I owed them money, what they would be doing is illegal, right? But because they want me to like vote for their thing, or they want me to take a poll or some shit, like then it's like totally cool for 40 people to, and they all, oh my God, the names of these organizations are just like, oh, I'm part of the Wisconsin Progress for Big Thinkers Committee.
Yeah. Do you
It's
think
like-
big?
They're all named like the same. They're like Chinese restaurants. They're like that. Like they all have like this like Mad Libs, or like the Golden Panda Star or whatever. Like
Yeah,
they're
yep.
all
Big brains for political goodness.
yeah.
Political action for women.
Yeah, there were a lot of those.
They're all the same. All of them have at most 3 members, and they all ask me the same question 14 times a day, every day for 6 months.
Yep.
And and fucking with them became my moral duty.
Yeah.
I hate, like, it's so bad.
I would-
I would rather get something in the mail that I can just throw away, or a phone call that I can just hang up on, than like a text message that's just like staring at me. That is like my eyes are hostage. I have to read it. I have to take in the information, and I can't stop myself. And they have to pay for it. Maybe on the website I'll post some of the screenshots, some of some of my Hall of Fame
if you have-
text replies. I have a bunch of them.
Okay, yeah. Save them and send them to me, or if you want to, you have access now. So
Oh yeah, the WordPress now. Yeah.
yeah, just post it. That'd be hilarious.
I got bored messing with them until they started. I don't know, because I have my wife's line under my plan too. And so every once in a while I'd get really excited because like stand up for women's rights, or women are the change.org would text me, and they would think that I was my wife Rebecca. And it'd be like, Rebecca, are you ready to be a woman leading the way for change in America?
I got so many of those for Shay. like up until the election, like the last week before the election, it was all for my wife. None of
Yeah.
it was for me. I don't
So
know
I
if they expected to sway the vote like that way, or
But anyway, I just love to be like, oh no, sweetie, I'm a good old fashioned woman. I don't believe in things like power or voting or women making change. And then I'd always put like a Bible verse in there and be like, I'm praying for you.
Ugh.
Because you see, it's feminists texting you. And as far as they know, you are also a woman. And so they can't straight up just start yelling at you for being a sexist pig, because you're on their side, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
But
Oh,
also under the
go ahead.
guise of what they're doing, they can't start like trying to educate you to what they see as the feminist movement. So you could just feel the anger and smoke seething from the other side.
I lost this one because this one was on my old phone before I switched to the new one. But there was the best text exchange I had. Maybe there's a screenshot that I sent someone if I dig way far back. But I had this like the same thing that I would paste and reply to the people. That was like, it was something along the lines of like, what are your thoughts on the morality of abusing the accessibility of public records to spam text messages to 50,000 people? And their reply to me was, what I'm doing is legal under U.S. Code Section 403B, the whatever.
Just
And I
because
was-
it's legal doesn't mean it's
That's
like,
what I
morally
said.
Correct.
I said in 1939 that rounding up Jews was legal. I said something like that. And I said, you would have been a Nazi, and don't pretend otherwise. Whatever. Something. I basically told them that they would have been a Nazi, and that if they say anything else, that they're just lying to themselves because they're doing the same thing right now. And they got real mad. I have that. I definitely have that somewhere.
That's so funny. All
I
right.
have to.
Can I just take a moment to sway us to the real issues of today's
Yeah, of course,
society?
of course.
Yes, please.
If I may just to close out the political section, if I might just
Yeah.
speak
Yeah.
from the heart, please, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, you bet.
It's been a long 5 years for me. I don't think that it's been a question about where I stand politically.
Yeah,
We've
you're all
had
Trump, right?
100%. And
Trump train, choo choo.
in light of all this that's happened, in light of all the conflict and all the continued back and forth we've had, and as Trump continues to refuse to concede, and as his supporters continue to rally, I just want to call for us to come together if we can as a people. And if you'll just listen to my message, I believe that I have something to say to everyone, whether you're on the right or left.
Is Sam about to do a rap?
So it is nanny, nanny, boo boo.
Mm.
Stick your head in doo doo. Biden is the president, the newest White House resident. Yes, he just might be heaven sent. And now my peace is permanent.
I got the beret. It's perfect.
There you go.
I want to say I started out talking and had no idea what I was going to say. So if that punchline was a disappointment, just know that I agree.
I don't know if it was good or bad because I spent the last 5 seconds after it trying to remember if it rhymed or not. That's all.
Those were not pre-planned rhymes. Suddenly I realized that I was doing a rhyming thing and I was kind of stuck with it. And then it was
Dude,
like,
are
what
you a
rhymes?
style rapper?
What rhymes with president? So
Excellent.
you get this podcast free, people. Shut up.
That's
All
true,
right.
yeah.
Anyway.
This has had no cost to you.
Yeah.
To move on to the real issues affecting Americans today.
Now we have to talk about this fucko right here. I guess that only works for me on my screen.
Tom, you're pointing at me.
Yeah, I'm pointing to the guy on your screen.
Okay, so for audio listeners, this is not going to make any sense. But if you head over to the Talk Shop YouTube channel, you'll be able to see all this.
Does anybody watch the YouTube? Do we have any views?
I do.
Average something like, I don't want to brag or anything. All right. But we're getting upwards of 5 views.
Wow.
But why?
Because one of them's me, one of them's Corey, one of them's probably you or Jack.
It's not me.
It's not Jack.
It's not me.
All right. So we have 3, I guess, unaccounted for views. Anyhow, my background that I've selected for today's discussion is regarding the next gen console launch. I know a lot of people are probably cringing right now because the last episode was entirely video games.
Don't care. Fuck them.
Yeah, exactly. You can file a complaint. Let me just assure you that your complaints will be printed and then thrown into the garbage.
If you just listened to the last half hour or whatever of political commentary and your first thought was, yeah, I need some more of that, then again, please never vote.
Subscribe to the Daily Wire.
Yeah. Let's just
listen
say
to Andrew
hypothetically.
Clavin. At any rate, we're in interesting times as far as video games are concerned. I think that's fair to say. Would anyone disagree with that?
If by interesting you mean that I've been killing myself for 48 hours straight trying to buy a PlayStation, when I realize fully and completely that it is the worst product in every imaginable way, I still want one and I can't buy one, and I'm mad butthurt about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it goes for both, right? Because so if you don't live under a rock, you might be aware that there's a pandemic going on.
What?
Where?
This has led to some interesting developments in the capitalistic console next generation sales market, where you don't just go into a store and buy one of these anymore. You have to do it online. And as a result of that, some crafty entrepreneurs have decided to
If
have
you want to, sure, you can call them that. Let's go with that.
yeah, exactly. I'm being too nice, perhaps.
Maybe.
They're developing scripts to when these consoles are launched. Since you can't go into the store, they have to be sold online, right? That's the only other alternative. You have to buy them online. They have to ship them directly to you. The problem is, you can write scripts to just buy them as soon as they become available, and then flip them on eBay for like a 300% markup. Now, see, this is an issue for the average consumer. For somebody who just wants to pay, so like I want to, if there was a Sony rep that would come to my house and I could give him $500 cash, just set it in his hand, and he gave me a PlayStation, I would do that.
I would do it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now.
But the problem is, you can't. You have to wait for, I guess it's like 5 main retailers, I think, are the ones that are, because it's like Best Buy, Walmart, Target, GameStop, and then maybe directly sometimes that you're trying to buy from. But these retailers on their online sites do nothing to prevent this scripting and bot purchasing in any way.
Yeah.
So now, as soon as stock becomes available, bots buy all of it, flip it on eBay for, again, 300% markup, and no one's able to buy any of this shit.
I think scalping should be a federal offense, punishable by being scalped.
I think that's fair.
That's what they should. It'd be like Brad Pitt in *Inglourious Bastards*, just scalping
If
them.
you live by the scalp, you die by the scalp, I always say.
Do it all you want, but if you get caught, the knife's not
Oh,
very
boy.
sharp.
Yeah, they don't right before they use it.
They've been
They're
using the
dipping it
same
in mud. They're
Yeah.
slapping it against some like plaster drywall. They're like redoing their house with it, and then
Yeah.
they use the knife.
It's so triggering that
So,
like all these retailers
The
that it's
one-
like the joke in the chat was like, it's 2020 and I can't give my money to a mega corporation who wants it.
Yeah.
I just can't.
So real quick before, I know Sam's gonna jump in a second here, and he's gonna say, "What's the problem, guys? It's so easy."
Go on, Sam. Get it out.
Yeah, go ahead. Actually, go
I-
ahead before I say anything.
I just don't understand what y'all have been talking about. What can't you get? What are you unable to buy?
Nothing in
Oh,
particular.
the Sony PlayStation 5 is what I'm
Have
having
you heard
issues
about
with.
this? Do you know about this? The PlayStation 5? It's like the next one after the 4.
Yeah, I was playing
Yeah.
it like 10 minutes before I got here. Yeah, I got.
Oh,
Oh!
Is it?
oh,
Is
were
that
you?
Oh, is that good? Is that something to talk about? No, it's really hard because like I want to talk about it, but like there's absolutely no way to talk about it without rubbing salt and wounds for everyone. So like I have a very small circle, and most of my circle already is sort of like not necessarily. I'm not the favorite part
They're
of this.
already at your throat. Yeah.
Yeah. So to start alienating that small circle with something that I got that nobody else did is risky.
Fair.
But I will say still the only reason I got one was because they did the little shiftaroo where they said that pre-ordering was going to start the next day, but I know better. And I'm autistic and super, super obsessive about these kinds of things. So even before they were supposed to start launching, I was constantly refreshing Reddit. And even then I spent probably 5 hours on bestbuy.com refreshing my cart, trying to check out with a PS5, and I couldn't do it.
Mhm.
And there's this guy on Twitter called Wario64, and he is like the guy to follow if you're going to try to get any of these consoles because he knows about it somehow. I think he is a bot. I don't think he's a person. And I'd given up. I'd honestly given up for the night, and I was working on something, and I happened to just, why not? I'll refresh real quick. and brand new, like not even a second old, was, hey, the page isn't up on Amazon yet, but we found a back door into the link where they're going to be sold. Clicked on it, added to cart, purchased, and in the time it took me just to do that, they were sold out. Like it was back to sold out.
Excellent.
And that was maybe 3 seconds.
Oh.
So I got so stupidly lucky.
Someone had to get that lucky, and it just happened to be you.
And I had no idea. Again, that was the first day they were getting sold. I had no idea they would be this hard to get. I wish that I'd scrolled and like hit that quantity to 2 or something. Not so I could, I don't want to scalp, but I would have sold one to you guys for like what, 10% cost, 10% over.
I wouldn't have paid that shit.
That's
You
fair.
fucking scalper. I hope you die.
That's
Nah,
the finders. That's the lucky finder's fee, right?
I've been-
$50.
I've been trying the last few days when they've been dropping to try and grab one to sell you guys at cost. I would never charge extra. Like I said, I'm very aware of my place in this very small circle of friends. I was very excited to earn my keep somehow.
Even just now, while you were talking, Sam, I was trying to buy. I refreshed Best Buy, and every once in a while they'll have open box ones.
Yeah.
And I add it to my cart, and you try to check out, and it says no, you can't do that. The shipping option isn't available.
So,
But if you add something else to your cart, then you can check out. And so like you can go through and like pick your address and, you know, shipping and payment and all that. And I did that, and I got to the end, and I clicked place order, and the page refreshed about 11 times, and it was like, nah, out of stock. Can't help you.
Yeah.
so
I got so mad yesterday. I had it. So yesterday Walmart dropped what, 5 times?
yes.
And I never got close. I never got even close. Like those bots are lightning quick. On the very last one, I got to confirming my address, getting it in my cart, checking out, and then it was like verify purchase or whatever the very last step is. And it made me do a CAPTCHA.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I was
Because
under my
you see, Sam, it has to make sure you're not a bot. That's the important step here.
So
Funny enough, that doesn't seem to work.
I was so mad. I thought I was going to get to come through with a PS5 from my boys. I was going to make you guys fight to the death for it. It was going to
like the Dark Knight with the
But,
pool scene.
yeah, like I would snap the PlayStation in half and be like, "There's room for aggressive man."
So I'll real quick say that all these, if you're watching the video of the podcast, all these messages you're seeing behind me regarding it's sold out, unavailable. These are all the messages we've been sending in our personal Discord regarding trying to get a hold of these things. It is impossible. At this point, we just got to wait for demand to level out and then the stock to catch up, because there's no way we're getting one.
I don't think it's unreasonable for me to say that I would have, if you gave me 24 hours, I could find meth more easily than I could buy a PlayStation.
Oh, yeah. Are you
Well,
kidding
yeah,
me?
this part of Minnesota, you could give me an hour and I could go find you some meth.
Yeah, just roll down to the west side. You know what I mean.
You know, I will say this with the way you just said West Side, I would pay like Patreon money to watch a video of like you and Corey's good with everybody, so I think I have to count him out of this one. But you and me, Tom, tried to go through any city trying to get some meth would probably be the
West
funniest.
Side.
But you, Sam, you think I could play it cool trying to score meth on the
That's the thing. That's the thing about you. You
on
don't
the
have
hard
to play
street.
it cool. You have like that natural charisma where something about you could go up to him and you could. Be
I
like,
have charisma. No one told me I had
Yes,
charisma.
sir. I would like some meth.
yeah,
please.
I would like some meth. And they'd be like, all right, this guy's cool. But me, if I'm spurging out or Tom trying to
Oh,
say,
can I
West
get some?
Side.
meth?
some crack?
Because I guarantee you at the last second, I'd be like, shit, you can't just ask for meth. They probably have some cool street name for it. What's the street name? Oh, I don't know. God, think about it. Could I get some of Grandma's goldfish crackers?
Oh yeah, and he just pulls out like a bag of goldfish crackers and he's like, "Here you go." And there's no drugs in them. They're just goldfish crackers.
It's literally just goldfish crackers.
Your drug dealer is useful for more than you think. Hey, I forgot to get milk on the way home at the gas station. It's closed now. Do you have a gallon?
He opens up his shirt. He's got udders.
Here you go. That's a gallon of milk, 2%, just like how you like it.
Milk me, daddy.
Thank you, local drug dealer.
Jesus.
So
Was
if you
that
just say-
necessary,
just
Sam?
please trust your local drug dealer.
That I want to milk my local drug dealer? Yeah, I think that's necessary.
My wife is peeking through the door right now.
Ask her if she wants to milk a drug dealer.
Do you want to milk a drug dealer? Do you want to milk a drug dealer?
I don't know what that means.
She says she doesn't know what that means.
It means to grab and squeeze
Like a
and pull
teat of a
until
drug-
something comes out
Yeah. Like you would a cow.
that you could then use on your cereal or
I
whatnot.
Yeah.
don't think I would want to milk any living human.
Okay. That's fair. She said she wouldn't want to milk any living human, which
Or dead, just to
or dead. She
Or
wanted to
okay,
clarify.
okay,
Yes.
okay.
You can't milk a dead person.
I
Are you
mean,
sure
how
about
hard?
that?
How hard have you seriously ever tried,
Have you
Sam?
tried milking a dead
Really
person
hard.
before?
Yes.
I don't know if it would come out.
Would it come out?
We all
Actually,
had
I actually don't know enough about anatomy. If you
You don't know
if you die, can
Yes.
someone milk you? Like how? Like what's the time frame?
I don't
Like,
know.
do you have to be alive to be milked?
Could you imagine if I just like stared you right in the virtual face right now? It was just like 3 hours and 46 minutes.
That's something
To
drunk
the
Sam would do.
second. That's when the milk supply runs dry.
And then it just doesn't work anymore.
But those 3 hours are gonna be like heaven, baby.
However long rigor mortis takes, minus 5 minutes. That's how long you have.
It turns to ice cream.
Jesus.
That's way
Come
better.
on, Sam.
Dude, now I really
Like, soft
okay.
serve, you put a cone and you're just like
No, because now I want to know. You know those like really expensive like French desserts where they put the hard shell of chocolate over like some ice cream and you
Yeah.
crack the shell and the
yeah,
ice cream.
just like that the
ganache?
Hershey's you know,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Hershey's like shell
Yeah.
chocolate syrup.
So like if you froze a dead body of like a pregnant woman who is or a woman who just had a child who was lactating,
Okay. I'm following you.
and you froze the body.
Yep.
Once again, real small circle of friends. You're finding out why right now.
All right.
You
You're
froze
freezing
the
you're
body.
freezing a
Could you crack the titty?
postpartum.
Yeah, could you crack the titty? Like if
Yep.
you use like
Well, like
obviously-
a creme brulee, like with a little, like the back of a spoon.
like would
A
there
little
be a
mallet?
little
Mm.
like would there be like I understand how the breast works. There's all these little there's channels and pumps for the milk.
So
But-
your first sign that he doesn't know how breast works is
There's
him saying,
channels.
I
There's
know
channels
how
and
the breast works.
Yeah, there's valves and pulleys and a network of pipes.
There's some gnomes in there making the butter.
Yeah, the steam
They
engine.
got the churns, and then they feed it out the boob.
I know how
A
the titty
conveyor
works. Yeah.
belt.
Slap it as hard as you can and spit on it, and that makes it feel real good. So,
Yeah, exactly.
but going to the real question here, the real meat and potatoes of the matter.
Yeah.
If you like really hardcore sub-zero, like liquid nitrogen froze a titty
Mhm.
with
Yeah.
some milk in it, could
Yeah.
you crack the skin and reveal like a little like dessert?
I don't know how to answer that question.
Well, here's the thing.
I don't want to say no because I feel like that's right, but then that also implies that I have some deeper level of knowledge how to answer this question.
I'm gonna
This
go
is-
with
Can
This
I
is why
contest?
partially correct because look, I've seen a lot of anatomy textbooks in my day throughout high school and college.
so you've seen the channels and pulleys and levers
Yes,
that
I've
make
seen
the
the
booby.
channels, pulleys, and levers. And then the sacks, right? It's sacks. People don't like to talk about the sacks.
Oh, I love to talk about the sacks.
All right. So there's the sacks, and those would be frozen, presumably. Like we're talking instant freeze, like
We
You
would
know,
have to, yeah, we'd have to try a few times to get this right. Like, it's
Right.
not like we could go find one body and find out the answer to this. It would, it's a Hindenburgian level of research that's required for this.
yeah. So partial credit, I would say. I think a little bit. I think they'd be enveloped in some kind of sack, but it wouldn't be, easy. It wouldn't be like you break it open and there's banana split. I don't think it'd be that simple. I think there'd be some additional work required. This is. Can we just take a step back for a second and realize what
I
we're
wanna go a
talking
little
about on this
deeper.
episode?
This is all Sam's fault.
I want to go a little deeper.
I'm gonna bring it back to the original discussion.
Hey Sam.
If you want to buy a console right now, go fuck yourself is basically
Yeah.
what you'll
Unless
get
you're
from
Sam.
every major retailer.
Sam, what have you been playing? What's it like?
Demon Souls.
I don't think I've
baby.
actually talked to you
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
No.
Tell us about Demon Souls. Tell us about the user experience. I want to know
Sure.
load times. I want to know hard disk space. I want to know like how many updates you get like a day. Are they
Yeah.
patching the shit out of this thing or like what's going on?
I haven't no. So I should tell you that I've only had it like on for about 4 hours total. Like I'm not letting this become like the main like streaming device for the house yet. I still have the PS4 for that.
Sure.
So all day long, so I knew that mine was getting delivered yesterday, and all day long I was like on the subreddit reading technical things and like trying to get a feel for how the user experience was going for everybody else. And I've got to tell you this thing, if what I think there's only something like 1% of units are bricking, but there are units bricking out there. And the rules to assure that that doesn't happen are like, this thing's a gremlin, man. You can't plug anything into the back besides the power cord. You can't let it go into rest mode. You can't try downloading your PS4 data onto it. And there's certain things you can't do when you're playing Spider-Man because supposedly one of those things or the right combination will brick your console. That's the data that we have.
What,
So
what do you mean?
I've
Like,
actually
when you
heard
say
that if you have Spider-Man running and you put it to sleep and then you try to quick resume when you come out, you get caught in this loop of like a storage corruption thing.
that's what it is. The storage corruption. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got,
Damn.
so I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm touching this thing like kid gloves right now. I have like one game on there.
Yeah.
It's off all the way off when I'm not playing it. I have it on right now because I wanted to charge my controller. So I haven't put it through any kind of real stress test. As far as once you get it, you update it, all that kind of stuff. The operating system is, I would say, it's where PlayStation 4 should have been. I still don't love it. For context, my favorite operating system ever is still the Xbox 360. I really liked the way that flowed and the way it looked.
So did you like the blades or the tiles on the 360?
So maybe I'm remembering the 360 wrong. What I remember is that you created a little avatar and he was like your dude standing there. When your buddies were on, they'd be standing next to you.
Yeah,
That
so
was
that
the
was
tiles.
tiles.
Roll around.
That was
Okay, so
tiles.
I liked tiles. I liked that.
Yeah, I actually had no problem with that either. It seemed to work pretty well.
And your game would pop up and you could, I mean, it was nice. So
Some people like had a hard on for the blades, but I don't remember them.
I
being
thought the
like-
blades worked really well, but they didn't look good. Like
no,
it functioned well. Like I liked it, but like this, can you imagine the blades being like them continuing on with the blades in like 2016 or like, you know what I mean? It just looked bad.
yeah.
I don't think they could even like because now that the nature of like apps being a thing,
Mhm.
like you get the Netflix app and stuff. Like I'm trying to think with the blades where that would have appeared, and it's not obvious.
Yeah,
so
it's
there's
pretty-
no way.
But I never liked the PS4's OS at all. I hated the PS3's OS.
I don't mind the PS4 OS. The problem I have with it is that it's slow as hell and it doesn't
It
want
is.
to ever do anything.
Yeah.
Like,
That is-
as far as how it works and functions, like if like the algorithm gods correctly guess which app I want to use next and it's already on my home screen, then it's great. But if it's not there, like going into like the library and finding the thing, like that's really annoying.
Yep.
And the fact that it's just slow as hell, like that's super annoying. But I don't think it's that bad. I think it's fine.
Well, this is a step up from that. So if you don't mind that, you'll like this. This is really fast. And I think this is something that's pretty well known across anybody that's looked into the systems at all. I know somebody that got the Xbox Series X and he sent me video of him fast changing between games and stuff. And it's really fast.
The quick resume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the PS5 is really fast too. As far as loading, I don't think I've had a loading time more than 2 seconds getting into games.
Sure.
Pretty good. Welcome
I'm
to
super happy
the
with
modern
that.
era.
Yeah, it's quick. And like playing, so the only game I've really put, and I've only put maybe an hour into it, is Demon Souls. Because a lot of the time I've had it has been spent, getting apps set up and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And oh my God, is it a treat? Like, it's no secret that Demon Souls is why I chose the PS5 definitively. And it's you put these things on pedestals and you hope that it's it's a $570 investment just to get that far. And you hope that it's worth it when you're loading it up because you're like, that's $570. And I have to say, like, I'm really happy right now. And I can't give like a full review because I'm not that far into it, but it's crazy how amazing it looks. And I played Demon Souls back in 2009 when it came out. and haven't touched it too much since then. So I don't have like every second memorized. So it almost feels like a new game for me. But what's cool is every once in a while something will happen and it'll like trigger one of those memories from when I played it the first time. And so I'm a sucker for nostalgia. I'm a sucker for Souls games. And this hits both of those points really well. It plays just like any Souls game you've played. It's a ton of fun.
I at this point, like I said it before, I want to buy a PlayStation. It's pretty much just Spider-Man. Like that's the sole thing for me.
Yeah.
Demon Souls is cool, and I'll probably play it at some point. I think the Souls games are cool, but it's not like I don't have like a major hard on for them. But Spider-Man is a huge. It's cool enough, and I like it enough that, despite me thinking that an Xbox is a better value in every imaginable way,
Which it is. I want to be very clear
and
about that.
like not only for now but into the future, it would just be better in every single measurable way. I just want the other one. I need to be,
Need to play
Bill
with
Gates
Spider-Man.
can't give me Spider-Man.
I will.
Can't get me pictures of Spider-Man.
I will say, since our last episode where we talked about the consoles leading up to release quite extensively, I have tried Game Pass now. They had the $1, promotional.
Yep.
You get a month for $1. And I have been very impressed so far, just with the variety, even just on PC. I don't have a console yet. I don't have any next-gen consoles or even an Xbox. But just the PC version, the variety you have access to, and the quality too. It's not like, like shit tier, like mobile, like, oh, you get Candy Crush. Wow.
Yeah.
Like nothing like that. Has been very impressive. And I hate subscriptions. I have grown to hate them. I've grown to hate that a company has like control of what you have access to at that level, and you don't actually own anything. That's the big thing. You don't actually own the games you're playing. But right now, the value proposition is pretty high. So I know we've discussed this before as far as Xbox goes, but as long as it stays at this quality level, it's actually pretty hard to beat. But if it dips at any point where they're starting to just like put, shovelware titles on it or something like that, that's when it's going to kind of hit the point where I think they're going to lose people. So like at this point, that coupled with I can't buy either of them, no matter how hard I try. So like fuck both of these companies.
Big problem.
I'm legitimately at the coin flip phase. Whatever's in stock first that I can actually buy is what I'm going to buy. I don't even care whatsoever. They both have pros and cons. I like PlayStation because they have the exclusives. They have games I like already that you'll be able to play. I kind of like the whole, it's more of a pure video game console thing. The Xbox is kind of like a PC. Even the interface is starting to look Windows 80,
Yeah.
But it has more power, and Game Pass is at this point difficult to beat.
And dude, the $35 a month. I know it's like a lot. It's a line of credit, and a lot of people, wouldn't be excited about doing that.
Yeah.
But 2 years of Game Pass and Xbox Live, and now EA Play that they're throwing in, and the Xbox. It's just stupid. It's just dumb.
It is stupid. And
All that being said, I am very happy with my purchase. I would not trade my PS5 for an Xbox Series X.
And it's the PlayStation is the one that I've, like I said before, it's not an exaggeration to say that for 48 hours, I've been doing nothing but refreshing retailers' pages on my phone and my PC and on like different VPNs and like just trying to make, because that's there's like the store fuckery where it's like you hear someone say, or I'll see you or Dakota or like someone say that they got something in their cards or that you're seeing something, but I'm not seeing it. And it's like, well, am I getting blackballed? Like, do they think I'm a bot? Like, you don't know. Like this whole like the bots ruining everything. The retailers, the websites just don't work. I don't know how it's possible to just fail this badly at selling something. It doesn't make any sense to me. The only like the people, it's so bad that the people who have done it the best is Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think Sony Direct does it. The
Oh yeah,
absolute
that's
best.
I was gonna
that's
say-
no, that's a good point. The Sony Direct is
I
pretty
think
good.
they've had the best show of it so far. So, but for those listening,
There's
that aren't,
there's the tier is Sony Direct, and then Walmart is a solid second place, and then there's 50 feet of shit,
yeah.
and then there's every other retailer.
So basically, with the exception, actually, Walmart's not even doing that hot, honestly, today and the day before yesterday. What's been going on is, again, people aren't going into stores, COVID stuff. They don't, like companies are trying to keep people from going into stores, lining up to get these things, right? That makes sense. Sony Direct today had a queue system where if you went to purchase a PlayStation on their website, they put you in a queue, you wait till it's your turn in the queue, then you go into the store, then you buy one, just like basically an analog for what a purchase in reality would be, right? Walmart did something somewhat similar to that where they had waves of stock releases yesterday. So at 3 p.m. we'll release this many, PlayStations, Xboxes, whatever, and then the next phase will release another batch and so forth, which is marginally better.
Mhm.
Every other retailer has been, we don't know when or where we're going to be releasing these things. It's going to be completely random. Good luck.
Yeah, they go up in stock on their websites at random times of day in random quantities with no warning or like teasing or letting anybody know. Like they just you would have no idea.
Which is literally like the incubator for a bot. Because they can just like a person, of course they're never going to be able to keep up with the stuff. If you have something just monitoring the web page over and over until something changes and then buys it, you're a robot. Like it's either you're a human or you're a robot. There's no distinction between the two. It's like, I don't know. It's just been such
don't
a
stand a chance.
train wreck.
Like the only places that a human being actually stands a chance on getting an Xbox is PlayStation Direct, Sony Direct, whatever it's called, or Walmart, and everybody else is just it's not possible.
Yeah.
I want to have numbers.
It's going to be a 2021. If you didn't get one pre-ordered and actually it's just the pre-order. If you didn't get a pre-order, basically you're waiting till January at
Black
the very
Friday.
earliest.
I'm
Now,
curious.
Black Friday. I think there's going to be physical copies in some places on Black Friday.
Dude, you want to see some footage of people getting trampled to death?
Yeah, I know.
How about when they wheel out the fucking Xboxes?
I'm not trying to tell you that
At
you should go
Best
out and
Buy.
get one on Black Friday.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that I think there will be the potential to get one on Black Friday.
That's
sure.
Yeah.
I think I want to see numbers. I want to see like a headline. I want to know like how many units actually got shipped in the last week or something. Because like I kind of want to blame the OEMs. I want to blame Microsoft and Sony for not making enough.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's possible that the retailers just don't have the experience or the bandwidth. Like I don't know. Amazon didn't have a problem when like the Switch came out.
Yeah.
Like that was pretty hype when the Switch dropped, and like pretty much only like GameStop and Amazon had them. No one had a problem going on Amazon.com and buying a Switch.
To be
Like,
fair,
There was some scarcity early on, and then like when COVID hit again, then that's when the bots hit hard.
Yeah, I think COVID is different because like just with supply chain, like if you're Nintendo, you know when you're dropping a console, you have to make 1 trillion of them, right? But like when something unexpected, like everybody getting sent home and being stuck in their house happens, they probably didn't have the inventory or the factories ramped up or anything ready.
that's just it.
So like I want to know, did Sony and Microsoft fuck up by just not making enough? Or just were they trying so badly to beat each other's early launch dates that neither of them were actually ready? That seems kind of plausible to me.
That's what I
Yeah.
think, because I think that without I really don't want to trash the PS5. The PS5 doesn't seem like it was ready. just from the design of the console. The design of the console, which it's an ugly beast. I'm not gonna say like it's not a pretty.
huge. I can't believe
it's
how
not a
big it
pretty-
is.
Tall. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's gigantic, and it's not particularly good looking. From
And the
that,
Xbox is like two cell phones stacked on top of each
And
other.
it's
Like, it's small.
It's like,
yeah.
like a brick.
Mm-hmm.
So all of that, I think, and with COVID coming in and probably limiting the way they were able to do things in production and stuff like that, I really do get the feeling that they'd been planning. They had all the big pieces of the PS5 done. They knew what they were going to do. And then they were starting to work on it. And then COVID happened. And then it was literally just kind of panic mode. And from the design to some of the things in the OS and some other things, it really seems like somebody just grabbed a piece of paper and was like, oh, this is what we're doing, and went with it. Like, I refuse to believe that. And maybe, I'm not an engineer. Maybe the way the PS5 is designed is really the best way to keep it cool, which is what they say. It's for venting and all that kind of stuff. And it is a quiet system. And if it's not overheating, that I'm fine having it.
I mean, the PlayStation and the Xbox have pretty much the same hardware in them. There is absolutely no way that the Xbox runs cooler. It's impossible, right? Because it's like 1/3 the size. It's there's just no way. Like maybe it isn't.
I'm sure like that exhaust end, is like a
Yeah.
jet turbine. Where it's just like flames shooting out. That
Yeah.
side.
So like I believe them. Like maybe it's not the way. Maybe they obviously didn't have to make it that way, but I certainly believe them when they say, hey, there's no problem. It runs pretty cool. We don't have any problem. Like, I believe them. Sure.
If that's the case, then I'm fine. Like, it's not so bad looking that I don't like it. It's just there. I can't sit here and be like, it's a beautiful machine.
I don't think it's. I think it's tacky. I don't think it's ugly. I think it's
like
just
a modem.
like...
It's a modem wearing a trench coat, is what it is. It's like
Yeah.
to solve mysteries in the 1920s. That's what every time I look at it, I'm
see?
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
I
walked
think
in
it's-
and she was all legs, and I said,
She had
hypothetically,
legs that
if
went
Donald
all
Trump
over
were to walk in right now,
with like like wearing a white coat with the collar popped.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the fuck boy from high school.
Can I just interject to selfishly proclaim the sweet
When you took off
Sweet
your when you
gospel
took off
of-
your background, I knew that's what was going to happen. that
yeah.
you'd
So
Oh,
make-
yeah.
I had
Yeah,
to do it.
I
You
knew
know
it
I
was,
had to do it to him.
You got to take us on the tour of the shelf.
Yeah, so hang on. I'm going to just grab an example real quick because this is going to be potentially a video on our YouTube channel. We'll see.
Whoa.
One sec.
he can't hear us right now, right?
Yes. Look at
Yeah.
that. Juicy
Just
ass.
that juicy ass. Look at that ass.
I tapped the hell out of that.
Pop that pussy open. Pop that pussy open.
Y'all talking shit?
No.
All right. So what I'm holding here, some may remember if they're old enough, is a Sega Dreamcast, but I got a.
Is that a PS1?
It says Dreamcast right here. So
It's a Nintendo.
all right.
I know a Nintendo when I see a Nintendo.
I just opened the disk drive. Oh, what's
Whoa.
that?
Oh,
There is.
it's got a little gubbin.
There's no disk drive here anymore.
What's that little rectangle in
If
there?
you're
Tom?
listening to the audio, I would suggest going to the video to see what's going on.
Don't do it. It's not worth it.
So what I have here basically is a modded Dreamcast. This did not cost very much. I want to let everybody know. I've been getting into console modding, and let me tell you, it is more affordable than you think it might be.
How affordable is it?
This console at launch was probably like $300, pretty standard.
Mm-hmm.
But like with inflation, it was probably around the same price you're paying for a regular console nowadays, right?
Yeah.
You can get one of these for like $50 on eBay. And then the chip inside is maybe like 30. And you get that, and you can play literally every Dreamcast game you'd ever want.
Oh, you
Just
should tell
load it.
people what the chip is, Tom.
All right.
Is it
it's
a
called-
Raspberry Pi?
It's a GD Emu. Basically, well, actually, for the
It's-
audio listeners, again, I'm going to advise you to tune in to the video. This right here is a Dreamcast disk drive, right? Pretty standard. Just looks like any old disk drive. This can be super easy. This is probably the easiest mod you can actually do. It's super simple. It's like 4 screws. You pop this thing out. It's literally connected by this connector right here. And that's it, minus the screws. You just pop that bad boy out. You pop this bad boy in. Uses the same exact connector. Another thing is the power supply, which I have right here. When the disk drive's removed, it has a voltage regulator that it goes unused because the disk drive's not there anymore. It would usually power the disk drive and it overheats. You're going to want to remove that too. There's also a bunch of replacements, super cheap, again, on eBay. You just pop that bad boy in, pop an SD card in with your backups of backups.
Oh yes, yeah. Okay.
Backups.
Making sure.
Your already owned Dreamcast games.
Well, see, Tom, I've known you for a while. You used to talk all the time about how you owned every single Dreamcast game,
That's true.
legitimately.
Yes,
I thought you
do.
stole them off the internet.
No,
See, I would never do something like that.
No,
The reason you can't see them back here
Sam.
is because they're in a crate in the basement. Because
I'm
now
looking
that I
at my-
have them on this SD card,
I'm
I
looking
don't
at my
need 'em
phone
up there.
right now, and you sent me a text that said, "Ha ha ha! I stole all the Dreamcast games from the internet.
That's
What a bunch
definitely
of
not me.
idiots! Ha
That's
ha ha
for
ha
sure
ha
isn't
ha!
me.
ha,
I would
ha.
testify under oath that Sam is a liar.
I would too.
Yeah.
At any rate, check it out if you haven't. Some of it's super easy. Some of it's more annoying.
See, now what I want is you breaking down something just like that, except for about freezing a woman's boob and seeing if we could crack open a nice, delicious little ice cream dessert in there.
If I had any experience doing that, I might be able to. But I
Your voice is very
unfortunately,
your voice
got-
is very soothing. I would like to watch that.
You have to do everything for the first time once.
Yeah.
Right?
that's true.
First time for everything.
That's true.
A year ago, you hadn't modded a Dreamcast. Just think where you'll be next year.
Yeah. For all I know, I could be cracking boobs left and right with a spoon and just like, oh, look, creme brulee. Ha, ha,
You know what occurs to me is that you could freeze a boob, flip it upside down, scoop everything out, and it'd be a nice candy dish.
Come on, man.
But for how long? It would thaw out eventually. Like, it's not going to stay solid forever.
Is art meant to be forever, Tom? Are
Are
we not all sailors in a voyage through the great mystery of existence?
Sailor Moon? Anyway, that's just what I wanted to share with the group.
That's what you had for the class.
You know those little helicopter hats?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with this.
Oh. No.
Please explain.
I'm thinking of cool uses for boobs. And
Okay.
to me, it seems like that was...
Helicopter hats, yeah. Well, I mean, that's already a burlesque dance, isn't it? Like, effectively.
Yeah, that's exactly why I thought of it.
No, there you go.
A yarmulke.
Yeah, yarmulkes would work too. Is that? Do you think that's how the first bra was invented? It's just 2 yarmulkes. It's like you got a string, like coconuts.
Probably.
I don't know
Anyway.
enough about like world history to know if that's
That
true or not.
Dreamcast was cool. That Dreamcast was cool, Tom.
Yeah, it is. Well, what other consoles do you
Again.
have?
He had them all. He had them all back there.
Let's see.
Every single one ever.
I got a PS2 modded
Except
now that
a-
has a hard drive in it, which PS2s did not have a hard drive, and now there's a hard drive in it. You can play games right off of that. That's pretty sweet. I recently got. I've basically been autistically acquiring. I was just handed this cat, by the way.
What do you have inside the cat?
Excellent.
What have you modded that to do? What games does it play?
The cat unfortunately doesn't play any games, but if it could, it would.
It?
Him.
It?
I'm sorry. The
You-
beer
you
fairy is
angered-
yelling at me.
Yeah.
So I got a Super Famicom, which is basically a Super. Well, it is a Super Nintendo, but it's just what was in Europe and Japan. I think the Super Nintendo looks stupid personally, so I didn't opt for that. N64 that I bought off of somebody all 3 of us know from a previous musical endeavor, I'll say.
It better not. Oh,
Mm.
is it the one we? Is it the one we don't like, or is it somebody else?
Well, I don't want to say we
I like everyone.
Yeah, we love the reason our band split up.
Okay, so you bought that from them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sega Genesis, of course. again, I'm gonna say the Famicom and the Genesis again were dirt cheap on eBay. These are not hard things to get a hold of at this point. There's thousands of them. It's super cheap.
That's a good thing you said that, because I was just sitting here thinking, look at this guy rubbing it all at our face, how rich he is.
Then I got my
With his-
GameCube, which I'm going
his
to mod
Saga.
tomorrow with a mod chip. Little soldering action, you know what I'm saying?
Excellent. And what does this
PlayStation
chip
1.
do?
Chip allows it to boot region-free games or less scrupulous things.
Why would anybody want to boot a region-locked game?
Exactly. Nobody would. We want region
Nobody
free.
ever. It's just a technical exercise, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So is it safe to say, Tom, that we can look forward to there being YouTube videos or some such thing that you'll be putting up about this one day?
If I feel like it.
Okay.
Of course.
That's
Of course,
pretty
my
much
lord.
where I'm at this point. Hey, by the way, for viewers, listeners, new dad picker coming. Me and Mr.
Ooh.
Oh wait, this way. Me and Mr. Corey over here recorded one. It was fun. If you liked
It
the
was fun.
first non-introductory episode, then you'll probably like this one too.
I got to give you guys props because I love to point out when you guys are really funny. And on the last dad picker, the joke where you're fast forwarding the baseball and it's clear that you played for like way too long. And then it stops and it pauses and it's just Corey, who is obviously in the middle of some big long speech or just talking because he's bored with baseball. He's just like, is it safe to say that baseball is the most homoerotic sport? And then Tom's just like, and then it goes right back into fast forward. That's like a chef's the timing and everything of that joke. I just have to pay respect because I laughed out loud, like literally when I was watching that. I thought that was amazing.
I loved my favorite part of the video. It was like it was right at the beginning, where we're going through in this baseball game. We're going through and naming all the players that we're seeing that we recognize, and literally every single one did. It was like 12 of them in a row.
I was
So-
hoping somebody would notice that.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard anything. Oh my God. I'm sorry. This just in. The man himself wants to join.
Oh my god!
Oh.
There you go. All right, we're
Welcome
back.
Welcome
back,
back,
everybody.
everybody.
Welcome back. Let's start from the top.
Yep.
Yeah, just delete everything. We're
That's
starting
good.
over.
I really want to do that Trump joke I did like an hour ago. I really
Yeah, let's do it
wasn't
again.
I was not happy with that one at all.
All right, excellent.
I've been waiting 5 years for that guy to get voted out, and I fizzled on the joke. You think I would have been writing something and all that?
Right.
Damn.
You got a whole
Anyway.
set.
Anyway,
Well,
I got a tight 5.
hey everybody. Joining us now, live from an undisclosed recording location, is Mr. Jack himself, the elite garbage man.
That's
My
me.
homie, my boy.
I was
wearing
hoping
his
I would get some
741.
like John Cena music or something.
We should
like-
we could add some in.
That would be
I'm
I'm liking
Edit
perfect.
your
some in.
your presumptive home office there. Looks pretty cozy.
Yep, it is. It's not too bad. It's kind of a mess. I have like three blankets. I got a pillow on the ground. I got
You sleep in
bunch
there?
of cans. Well, you know.
I think he
gotta-
relaxes. He'll text me sometimes when because he works from home like you guys do. He'll text me sometimes and be like, "Guess where I
I'm on the floor.
am on the floor."
Yeah.
Yep, on the floor taking a nap.
That's funny
pretty
because
awesome.
I also have been known to do such a thing.
Do you like get notified when somebody's looking for you, or how do you? Get
Well,
away
like
with
I
it?
have my
turn the volume
laptop
on.
like next to me, and I have you have the volume on for notifications, and then you're good.
People who actually have to work for a living are listening to this right now, and
Bunch
they're-
of jumps.
I'm one of them.
I dig ditches for a living. Fuck
I wake
you
up
guys.
at 6 every morning and drive 40 minutes in the cold to work
On the icy roads.
on
where
the icy, damn snowy
30
road.
deaths a year on that bridge.
And you're
Excellent.
freaking sitting here. I lay down and I put the laptop
laying
on,
on
my
the
belly.
laying on the floor.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was watching
I'm so
I
I'm
had-
so salty.
I had Wanted on earlier today. I watched about half of
Oh,
it.
curve the bullet.
Yeah, that's right. The rat bombs.
That movie.
Yeah, it's great. Shoot the wings up and
Uh,
fly. It's
yeah.
perfect in every way.
I think so.
It
I
was
just
trying to-
watched that movie not even a year ago, actually, for the first time. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I saw it in
wasn't-
theaters when it came out.
It wasn't good, but
There
it
was
wasn't
a
as
Brad
bad
in
as
it.
I
Bad
thought.
movie.
Remember,
It's
that
pretty
was
legendary.
era.
Yeah,
It's not legendary.
It
it
pretty
was
much is.
entertaining as all
It's-
hell.
It's not legendary.
It's legendary in my book. It's like
Is it Morgan
Gladiator.
Freeman who's like, it's the lube of fate?
it is.
That's that movie, right? Where
And,
there's
yeah,
a
and it's him
carpet
in
that
the
tells
end.
the future.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And he's the one
What's
that
so
like
weird about
puts in the
that?
stitches that get people killed. But he's like,
Oh,
it's
that's
fate.
right. That's right.
It's
That's
the
so
loam.
so stupid.
It's not stupid.
Andy Dufresne and the loom of fate.
I've got no problem with the idea that there's this magic carpet being stitched. Okay, I'm down with that. I like that kind of stuff. What I'm saying is so stupid is that anybody could walk up to this magical, incredible thing that knows everything that ever has been and everything will be, and like stitch something in.
Yep. No security system.
Like,
Nobody else is
Trust
allowed
the
inside this
loom.
room.
The loom.
Except me. Yeah.
Right.
is he the only one reading it? Is he the only one that can read it?
Yeah. It's not, he's not the only one that can read it, but he's the only one that's like allowed inside the room.
Then why did he need to stitch extra things in?
No, he does it. He stitches it while it's being made and then sends it out and says, "This is what the loom has predicted."
Oh, he has to show it. There's verification.
Verification.
There's two
yes.
factor.
Oh, okay.
Except they're not allowed to be in the room when it's being made.
So he's lying.
Yeah, the entire time.
He's not changing fate by stitching into it.
No, there's no fade at all.
Okay,
It's just
okay,
this.
okay.
It's just Morgan Freeman just dictating what's happening.
He's just stitching.
And he has
things.
that famous line in the end. He says, "Shoot that motherfucker."
Okay, so wait, so there is no magic. It's
Good
literally
luck.
just a regular carpet maker, and he just
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
tells everybody.
But they
Yeah.
believe it's magical.
Because of him.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually like that movie a lot more now. Then okay,
You got to watch it again, man.
so it's just a movie about a cult. It's just a movie
Yeah,
about.
yeah, that's
It's the
absolutely
guy
all it is.
who like narrated that Penguin movie.
Planet Earth.
No, not that's David Attenborough. What March of the Penguins?
Which one did
Morgan-
Carrot Top narrate?
God.
What?
Did he narrate a Penguin movie?
I think Richard Simmons did too.
Did you
What is even
screenshot
happening
all of
right
the
now?
times you
What?
got denied?
Yeah.
I was just reading them
From
just
the
now.
Discord, yeah.
Oh yeah.
High traffic.
Yeah,
Item
yeah,
is sold out.
These are all of our things we posted in Discord,
That is awesome.
and
That's
then
so
of course we
perfect.
got Mark Cerny and Phil Spencer right here.
Nice. I wish well, no, I wouldn't. I should have sent you a screenshot of the money taken out and then the money being refunded.
Yeah, we didn't tell.
Oh,
we
yeah,
didn't. We didn't.
I was
We
gonna
didn't
bring
tell
that
your
up, actually.
story.
Yeah, yeah.
I decided it wasn't my
I'm
story.
glad
to
you
tell.
jumped in. Yeah. So
Yeah, you can talk about because you
Tell us-
out of everyone have been the most screwed ever.
Yeah.
yeah.
by
Tell us
Wells
about your
Fargo.
console buying experience so far.
So, well, yeah. So the 11th at midnight, going into 12, I had GameStop open, and Sam's like, "Oh, there's packages going on at GameStop." I'm like, hell yeah! So we jump on GameStop, and I get that ultimate release day PS4, 2 controllers, controller charger, 2 games, $100 towards the PSN store, a year subscription for like $800, right? So I thought that was kind of a deal. So I get there, I get to the checkout cart, I get to the process order, it places my order, and then I get a text from Wells Fargo saying, "Hey, this is fraud. We blocked this. Is this something we should have let through?" I'm like, "Yes." And so I hit yes, hoping that it was still going to push the transaction forward. I check my cart and it says your order has been declined. Please try again. And then I check my Wells Fargo statement and it shows like $879 added, or it says subtracted and then added. GameStop out of Arizona or whatever.
You hate to see it.
So it was literally in my hands.
phys-
It physically hurt. Like again,
It was
like
on the
third
truck
time.
on the
I-
way to my house. And Wells Fargo said no.
They're like, they get a walkie-talkie call. Oh fuck! All right, screw this. guys. We're
Physically
turning around."
hurts me for the third time as someone who spent all like 2 straight days trying to buy a plate, like straight,
and
non-stop
what you
refreshing.
what you
It
need to
hurts my
understand is
soul.
it's
Oh,
not like he jumped on and that was the first time. He'd been
Yeah.
refreshing for like 15, 20 minutes.
Right.
and
I
it finally
would
got through.
I think I would be mad enough to go through the huge pain in the ass of switching banks. I think that would be enough to do it for me. Be like, nah, fuck you.
I've
got-
been with Wells Fargo for 11 years now.
I,
Too-
I, had-
too
I-
vested.
I've had a Wells Fargo account since I was like 12 or some shit.
I
Yeah,
hated-
we got that
I-
teen checking.
Yeah.
I hated Wells Fargo because I needed to have a minimum amount in certain accounts, and it charged whenever I transferred from savings to checking. I was like, "What a scam!"
Yeah.
What a scam! They got to make their money.
I got
like, oh, you want to move your money from this account to this account?
They got their monocle
Yeah,
and their fucking
That'll be
cigar.
$20.
Top hat.
Well, Sam, you see the drawer for your checking is over here, and the drawer for your savings is way over there.
Yeah, that should have been your
Have to-
first clue that they
Yeah.
screwed.
So
Yeah,
they
funny
have
enough,
to pay
whenever
a
you-
guy to pick
Yeah.
it up, and
Whenever you transfer, it's actually like a physical guy goes, opens one drawer, pulls
Yeah,
up that amount.
the
of
little
money.
like the fucking like
What?
the
And then he
old like
puts it into that fucking-
1980s like dot matrix printer, like the order comes through, and
The
it's like,
loom of fate.
the transfer.
Yeah, it's more
yeah,
Morgan
exactly, yeah.
Just
And
him.
he's like, oh god, another one, right? And he just like goes $28.
They have the two keys like the nuclear
Yeah.
lines. They both have to put it and pop it at the same
yeah,
time.
that's why it's so expensive. Every single account is like a giant like nuclear like vault.
Yeah, it's like Harry Potter with the little gnomes that definitely aren't
Right.
Jews.
She has all the phobias. So
I got to place order 4 times, and I clicked it.
many times. Every time
And
on the
it
Walmart one,
Didn't.
the GameStop one.
I won't lie. I was getting ready to say we should wrap this episode up. I don't really have anything to talk about. Do you have anything to talk about?
Nope.
There, Jack.
Mm-mm. Got nothing for you.
I got nothing. The furthest I ever got was on Best Buy, and that wasn't even particular.
know.
I don't know. Maybe. I knew it wouldn't work.
So
I didn't- it could've worked.
what did we learn today?
Oh my god.
We forgot to do this last time.
haven't
Did
done
we
this
actually
in, like,
forget to do it? What did we learn today?
35
Yeah, we did.
Oh
episodes.
no.
So what did we learn today?
I learned.
Wait, did you tell everybody that we're doing the Megasode next?
Oh,
Megasode's next.
Well,
I learned that maybe corporations aren't that greedy after all. Because I can't give them my money.
that's true.
I want to give Sony my hard-earned money.
I learned
They can have it.
if you freeze a breast and
Oh
you
yeah.
break it with a spoon, inside will be a banana split. I know I'm referencing my own joke there.
Try to make sense
I
of that
don't
one,
care.
Jack.
You're gonna have to listen to the episode. I'll make it 10 minutes in and then I'll stop.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh my god.
It was
oh
very
my-
wholesome.
'em.
Very wholesome. I learned. Really did learn that the loom of fate was a lie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a true fact.
I learned that Corey hasn't seen Wanted until a year ago, which is unreal.
Unreal.
Never saw it.
Came out in 2008, dude. Should have saw it then.
Yeah, come on, bro. We were in
I
8th grade.
was 14.
Yeah, so
He
it was
was-
13.
He was knee deep in
Wait, is
poo.
that an R movie or PG-13?
technically it was rated R. I
It-
couldn't.
it
have
was
watched
rated
it.
R.
It was rated R. What?
It's
Yeah.
impossible to
That just
watch
does not
R
seem
movies
like an R
underage.
Yeah, what the
It's
hell
like
is
a
that guy's
light
name?
R.
Jurassic World guy.
He was too busy finger blasting the whole cheerleading squad in the back of his Chevy Nova.
No,
He
you weren't.
definitely was.
Hell yeah, brother.
I can vouch. Being in the same school at the same time, Corey was a all-star stud QB.
Yeah, our team didn't have cheerleaders, or our school didn't have cheerleaders.
What?
Neither did mine, and
Oh,
we
because
did
it's
have.
a Christian, like a Catholic school, is that why?
Yeah, that's primarily why. But honestly, even if it wasn't, there just weren't enough people for there to be a
Yeah,
cheerleader.
there's not cheerleader caliber people, if you know what
Oh.
I'm saying.
That's a very old way of thinking. They'll let anybody be a cheerleader these days. They
Oh,
will.
yeah.
Like they have to let everybody be a
I could-
cheerleader.
I could,
have you
like,
seen cheerleading
Enroll in high
squads
school and
lately?
be a cheerleader today if I wanted to.
I'll be a cheerleader.
I feel like
I'll be the
like
guy
Let's
cheerleader.
go. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Anyway, we all learned something, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, I would join like a dude cheerleading squad if it was literally just like like Steve Austin smashing beers on your head.
we
Yeah,
know,
Like
Corey.
that's all you did.
we know.
I think any of us would. If you were like supplied free beer and you just like
Yeah.
had to drink obnoxiously, and that
Isn't
was
that
your
kind of
role?
like what the Proud Boys is? Is it what you've
Oh
just
my God.
described? What you've just described
Oh,
is the
we are
Proud
jumping
Boys.
topics
Bad
real
boys,
fast.
step back, stand by.
Stand
I'm definitely
back,
not
boys.
racist.
Don't worry about
We're
it.
about to go get him.
Let's get him, boys.
I
Anyway,
like how you're a little bit of a gay Donald Trump. I like that.
hey, boys. Let me tell you,
Listen, boys, stand by. Get
I
those
have the
asses
biggest
tight and ready.
penis. Everybody tells me, Donald, you have the largest
They
penis.
call me Big Dick Danny.
I would listen to gay Donald Trump ASMR. I would listen to that when I went to sleep. This is the sound of me opening up a big chicken.
Drinking a sweet tea.
I love Hispanics.
I don't know if
Sitting at
anybody
the-
else
the
out there in the
wall.
entire world thinks we're funny, but we're freaking
Yeah.
funny, man.
You really need to be on the video podcast to appreciate. Yeah.
I'm telling you,
I
build the wall. I won the election by a lot. I promise you, nobody won it better than me. Nobody.
All right.
I thought
On to
my
the-
impression wasn't bad, but I have a lot to learn.
Let's move
It's
on
me,
to-
Donald Trump.
Oh, that's right.
Don, is that you?
It's like he's here with us.
Build a wall.
Oh, we need to end this shit.
Yeah,
This
we
is
need to move to the
not-
sausage
this is-
making section.
Yeah.
Next up, Megasode.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
We're not even gonna patronize you and say that we're gonna have another episode up by next week. We're just gonna say, look for it January 1. That's the next episode.
Something like that.
After that, we got some surprises being cooked up currently for you
Expect-
listeners.
Expect things to change.
Expect the unexpected, as they say.
You'll never
But
see
in
it
all
coming.
reality, it'll be different. We'll be curious to know what people who actually regularly listen to this think. Eric, specifically.
Hi,
Just you.
Eric.
Hi,
Hi,
Eric.
Marshall.
And and the mailman himself.
Yo,
We never got him on. We never got
He'll
him.
be on-
We were supposed to
okay,
get him
okay.
on this episode.
He'll be
yeah, we
on.
were.
for-
He
well,
literally said he would be there.
We'll get him on.
I forgot about him until now.
my
Oh
God.
no!
We'll get him
All
on
right.
for the Megasode.
We'll get
It'll
we'll
be
get a
perfect.
call in for the Megasode. It'll be great. Oh, we
I
can
think
get
we
him in
should.
person.
We could get him in person for the
That's
Megasode.
true.
If we'll do
Yeah,
it.
we'll all be
Excellent.
here.
We'll argue endlessly about one thing and for 4 hours, and then we'll
Yes.
have 15
3-hour
minutes to get
Domino's
through
break.
the rest of the lists.
Yeah.
Sam will be 5-4 locals deep.
Yeah.
No,
Have a good time.
absolutely not.
Are you kidding? You would die if you.
You
got
would
that many.
die.
You would
Oh,
actually
you're fine.
cease to exist. Anyway, as always, thank you for listening.
As always,
I hope
Thank
you
you
got
for
something out
listening.
of this episode. This was kind of all over the place.
thank you
Stop
for
the
being
count.
here. It's all illegal.
Stop the count, y'all.
Don't mail in your ballots. It's dangerous. Wait a minute. I'm losing by mail-in ballots.
You know what they do
This-
with those mail-in ballots? They take them and they fold them into paper airplanes, and then they throw them to Mexico.
You're kind of Hispanic now.
And then they throw them to Mexico. It's me, Donald Trump.
As always, thank you for listening.
Oh, God help us all.
On that note, thank you for listening. Take care. Talk Shop signing off.
Bye.
Bye.